Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Under Construction. Listen, each and every single individual has the potential to become every single thing you've ever dreamt of becoming. But between you and your dream, between you and living out what it is that you feel is on the inside of you, is a process. And that is the process that we're looking into. That's the constructive process that here at Under Construction, we want to find out what is it that certain individuals are doing on their way to becoming. So in essence, we're celebrating individuals' journeys of becoming, finding out how are you doing what it is that you want to do. If you haven't yet subscribed to the page, subscribe, like, share, and listen. This episode is going to be super amazing. Not only am I joined by someone who I respected when I was a child, I've come to find out that he's not the brains, but more Pinky. We saw that coming though. Like when I introduce him, you'll understand why we saw him being Pinky coming. But I'm joined by two wonderful gentlemen. A bit like again Sunday. These two gentlemen, but like again with the concept of Sunday. And they asked themselves, I'm teen Sunday. And they started doing something about that. I'm joined by Asithandile, Thandani, and Langelihle, Twala. Welcome to Under Construction, gentlemen.
Hi guys.
Thank you very much for having us today.
Oh, it's such an awesome pleasure to have you, gents, join me. Now, as we start, because I know Asithandile from high school, I thought, because we always try and do something different at the start of the show. I was like, let's share something that goes back. So what I want to ask Langelihle to go first, just briefly. What is the craziest thing you ever did in high school?
Craziest thing I've ever done in high school. Okay, so I'm a very skinny guy. The craziest thing that I've done in high school was play the B side of rugby. And so the one time that I actually played like a match, that was my only match, my last match. So I was trying to run, and this really big guy, he just grabbed my rugby top and just pulled me back, and they just flew. That was the craziest thing I've ever done in rugby. And I never wanted to play rugby again.
Listen, I understand. I used to play with boys and they were tackling each other one time. And I was like, yeah, come on, attack me full force, knock me out, never played again. Small things, Jesus, by small things. So I see,
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, guys, I don't have a crazy story from high school. I'd rather not share, okay? Based on the image
that to my face as this brother just lies to us.
I can't nah, guys. Nah, I ain't done no crazy thing in high school, bro. I was a saint to church every Sunday. I did no crazy.
I'm gonna share a little crazy thing. Now, this one part happened with me, but then like Asi was there and he celebrated it. That's why I know he's lying. So in the 8th grade, the first week, I swore at a teacher. It happened. It was not my intention. It happened. It was when I was angry. But this was the best part. That afternoon, I had gotten suspended. There was a shop right next to our high school. And all the students used to congregate there, right? And I came walking, and this is what happened. Just heard. Now, there's the one. She's the one who swore. And Asi and all his classmates, because they were my seniors, erupted in cheers and praise. I felt so cool. I was like, these guys gave me like a standing ovation. And I was like, they were like, you did it. Because I actually had sworn at the head of detention. And they were, you did it, you're the one. And it was absolutely amazing.
You deserve the praise at the time. You deserved it.
But boy, you were encouraging Saj.
Oh, you know me, Poesie.
Listen, I felt like a queen. Nothing could touch me after that. I was like, yes, I did. I felt bad for what I'd done up until that moment.
You're cool.
It was cool. I made it. Oh my goodness. Langelihle, please just tell us about yourself, who you are, and where you like your background and what it is that you're currently doing right now.
All right. Okay. So as you mentioned, my name is Langelihle, surname Twala. So basically, I come from Mpumalanga. I've moved around a lot. In Mpumalanga, I come from a little town or a little village called Mkoboti. So Mkoboti is like deep down in Komazi, just like a few minutes before the border gate of Swaziland. So you can only imagine how deep the Swati is down there. So so currently, I'm studying social work, which completely has nothing to do with what I'm doing all around. So I'm doing my final year in social work and frankly, hopefully graduating this year. So I've done a couple of things academic wise. I was what do you call this? When I started, actually, funny story. When I started, I did BA, right? BA in psychology. Before BA in psychology, I was supposed to do BCom information science in Venda, but yeah, things didn't turn out so great when I went there. So I came back. Didn't even know what BA was. I actually thought it was performing arts. So I was excited. I was pumped. So I got back, found out BA is psychology. I'm majoring in psychology, ethics, and anthropology. So along the lines, you get to see the things that happen around, and you get to see how people get jobs out there. And I was like, I'm not gonna wait until I have a master's just to practice psychology. So which is why I ended up moving to kind of social work. But everything I do on the side, I mean, including Sumthin Usunday, there was one event before that that I worked on, which it wasn't mine, but I was just working on. And then everything else, I do voiceovers. I'm a voiceover artist for ShopRite and what do you call this? And USave and OK Food. So those are the things that I actually do on the side. But other than that, uh, that's just me. A very humble guy coming from the rural outskirts of Mpumalanga.
I mean, well, that's really cool. I know a lot of humble guys who say they're humble guys, but you.
I was just about to say that.
I'm
Oh my
humble
goodness.
until it comes to my money. That's it.
Oh, then things change. No, that's cool. No, I
Yeah,
understand.
then
This
things
is
change.
100%,
Yeah.
100%.
Would you believe me if I told you he's the head of security?
You know,
Please,
no.
please stand up, God. Please stand up so they can serve you, boys.
Oh, I'm not gonna stand up, my boy. I can take off my jersey so you can
Wait.
see like my arms and everything. Like
Steps, boys.
Gentlemen, slow down. Please. Oh my goodness. I see, knowing you, like I know briefly a little bit. Oh, well, I used to know, and then now I just know what I've seen in pictures. But I mean, you graduated head boy, you matriculated West Bank, head boy, you graduated with civil engineering. How was that journey for you, just going through UCT and then finally graduating?
I went to CPUT just to correct that part.
Right.
So I went to CPUT, yeah. But nah, it's all good, it's all good. So I went to CPUT and the journey's has had its ups and downs, but to be honest with you, it's had its ups and downs, a lot of teachable moments as well throughout the journey. Yeah, right. A lot has happened. But one thing I do want to say to like anyone that's like looking into studying, you should try and just like see what is in demand, man, in terms of your study career or the route you choose to study. Don't just jump into it because one person's once told you that engineers make money. They don't. Once like people told you something about a certain career path, don't choose it because of that. Just out the market and yeah, man, just try and associate yourself with something that's like aligned to the brand, or rather not times.
Now,
Yeah.
I had a question right after this for both of you guys, and I'll still ask it, but like it really is writing off the back. is what you're doing right now, like your primary occupation, is that something that you've always been passionate about? Or was it just, it came by the by and you're doing it now because it's what's in front of you?
Langa, you can go first, bro.
You, my boy. All right. Okay. All right. For what I'm studying right now, it's not always what I've been passionate about, to be honest. You know, I started my passion, frankly, would be somewhere in IT, somewhere in probably economics or accounting, which I'm still going to do. What is I've currently what do you call this, applied to go back and do maths at Stellenbosch. So that's something that I'll be doing next year, to kind of go back and do what I'm passionate about, really passionate about. But I mean, you get to love things, you know, like as he said, you know, when you're studying, for me, I didn't know what was in demand, you know. So my parents were the ones applying for me and everything. So, and I didn't mind that, because my parents would apply for what's best, you know. So when I came back and my mom told me that a BA without direction will not take you anywhere. And truthfully so, we have people with BAs out there who are unemployed because they didn't know how to direct that BA, you know. So it's not what I'm passionate about, but in order for me to kind of be able to go through with it and everything, it's something that I began to love within the course. So I believe my mom knows me the best. So when she chose BA for me and said, come here, when you get here, you can change, you know. So I got here, I got to love psychology, I got to love anthropology, and even various other subjects that I was doing. So when I changed over to social work, the one thing that I was really grateful for was the fact that I was able to keep psychology and anthropology with me, changing over to this new course. So it's not what I was initially passionate about, but I've grown to have a certain passion for it. And I've grown to see how I can actually align, as he said, align your brand with what you're doing, you know. So I know I can align my brand with social work to a certain extent, but it's not something that I see myself doing, let's say 10 years down the line. Of course, I want to give back to my community and give back to everybody else out there, but giving back doesn't necessarily mean being in the field.
True. Okay, well, that totally makes sense. And Asi?
Nah, I wasn't passionate about it in high school. Nah, I didn't see myself doing it. But I'm learning to love it, and I might just do it for the rest of my life. We'll see.
We'll see. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
The reason why I wanted to ask this question is because one of the fundamental things that we're for this specific episode is the fact that you guys are in such like varied fields to what it is that you guys do. The event with Sumthin Usunday, like for me, it baffled me. How is a civil engineer hosting events? And do I want to go to an event hosted by a civil engineer? I don't know if I want to attend, but I'm seeing the pictures and I'm watching and I'm like, this is becoming a really huge thing. So the thing becomes, how does an individual, because then you're multifaceted. That's what I have to then list, like be left with. I'm like, these guys are like multifaceted folks and they're able to do many things and have their fingers in many pots comfortably. So then, like, Langelihle, what would you say to an individual who is multifaceted, like, and they don't know how to put those things together, or they don't know which one to focus on first? Do I focus on the fact that, I can do events, I can do voiceovers, or do I focus? Because someone would easily say, no, why don't you go into the entertainment industry? Then you find everything that you need there. And you're like, yeah, but this is what I'm doing and I'm learning to love it. How can I balance that out as a person being multifaceted and finding a mainstream and then also pouring out into those tiny different other avenues?
I mean, the most important thing is just to be grounded, you know, like if you aren't grounded in one thing, then how are you actually going to balance the other thing? So when I started my varsity career, I started in a manner whereby I actually wasn't doing anything. right? I started in my varsity career in 2016, and I wasn't doing anything at all, right, besides school. So as time went by and I went into voiceovers, that was the first thing that I did. And so I learned how to balance my schoolwork with my voiceovers. And then as went on, also, I started working for various companies. I started working for a fiber company whereby I was doing sales. And in time, I saw that that wasn't working for me because I didn't have the time to do my schoolwork anymore. So find the one thing that you will be grounded in, and then when the other things don't affect what you do in the mainstream, then you will know that that is the thing that you should actually be doing.
Awesome. That's absolutely, absolutely awesome. Now for the thing that we sort of been beating about the bush, what is Sumthin Usunday?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, cool. So Sumthin Usunday is literally like it's a brand. It's a brand on its own. So Sumthin Usunday is a brand of its own that basically creates a platform for up and coming artists to basically showcase their skills and talents on platforms where rather not platforms or opportunities and venues where they wouldn't be given the chance to. Yeah. So the main agenda for Samthini Usunday is to create a space where young people or young adults can come enjoy themselves. In the process of that, entertainment should be provided by the guys that actually need the exposure and the talent. So
Wow.
that's the vibe. Yeah.
Wow. And how did you guys come how did you guys birth this concept?
Okay,
Like,
cool. Okay, cool. So this started 2019. Yeah, we met in 2019 where Langa just explained that he actually had experience in terms of event organizing and managing with the past event that he had done with his other friends or friend, I'm not too sure. But anyway, we were chilling and we've always like in Cape Town, there's a culture that's built in your casies and stuff like that, yeah, where you have a place where you can come and have fun amongst other young adults that are in the same place, same space, same mindsets, etc. as you are, yeah, the whole thing is created in casies here in Cape Town. So we wondered as like on like an average Sunday, you don't have anywhere else to go but to a kasi to get the vibe that you're actually looking for, you know. So at the time, Amapan were also come like an up and coming genre. Okay, not rather not up and coming. They were at the top, man. Like everyone was listening to piano at that time. Yeah, bo. So it was basically just brainstormed with another partner for us, Mbendulo. He's unfortunately not here. We were all brainstorming, Sobatatu, and we just basically decided that, yo, we want a place where young people with that are in the same space in terms of life can gather in a very cool venue where someone can have the experience and say, yo, I've actually partied in Cape Town. Yo, I've actually partied in Long Street. I've partied in the waterfront. Yeah, but stuff like that.
yeah.
And the third thing and the most important thing was that it didn't feel good to us that a platform is not given to the people that need it the most. Yeah, but people that are always getting the publicity are the already like popular people. So why not try and create that for the other not so fortunate guys or up and coming guys rather? So yeah, that's the vibe.
Wow. And now, in hosting and organizing these events, for me, one thing I find beautiful that I didn't know is the fact that you guys create space for young and up and coming artists. So, guys, listen, that excites me so much. Langa, what is the biggest lesson you've learned in terms of
Sure.
organizing these events, stepping out and actually doing them?
Okay, the biggest thing there is that if you do not know how to take rejection, it's gonna demotivate you so much. I mean, Asi actually is the main guy that goes out and that meets with these guys for venues and talks to them. He's a very good negotiator. I believe Asi can sell you a pen right now, But so the biggest thing, whenever he comes back from a different venue, it's like, poisons, this one didn't work out. He said this and this and this, And also the other, what do you call this? The other biggest letdown of it is that, so with COVID, we've had to kind of step back a little bit, and we were very afraid that the brand might actually die during the COVID-19 pandemic. So now when we came back and we saw that the patrons were actually supporting so much, that was the biggest positive, that we had so much. So the one thing that people should always remember is that rejection is gonna be a thing within events, and it's gonna be the biggest thing that you are actually gonna experience in events.
Sure. Now that's absolutely amazing. Having worked with artists, I wanted to know, what is the one thing, especially the up and coming artists, what's the one piece of advice, like, because you're essentially providing for them an opportunity, and I'm sure not everybody you present the opportunity jumps and takes it. Some do, but some possibly don't. What is the one thing you would say to guys, as an individual who's providing them a platform? Like, listen, guys, this is what I have to say to you guys.
Look, with upper guys, the younger guys, the guys that are like trying to get there, the one thing that I would say is don't undermine your skill, don't undersell yourself, don't think you're not good enough. And just two things, sorry. Just don't think you're not good enough for anything. And secondly, you must speak. You understand? You must speak. No one's gonna, not always people are gonna come to you. You must be able to speak to people. You must be able to basically understand that you are a brand. So you need to get yourself out there like that. So yeah, those are the two things that I would want to share, like with up and coming guys.
Wow. Now, just speaking about now individuals who would love to go into organizing events and hosting events, Langa, give me 2 or 3 things that you would advise individuals who are like, listen, I've got great concepts. What should they watch out for when they're starting out and going and hosting events?
I think the first thing that you should always do is you should just go for it, right? So going for it doesn't necessarily mean that the first event is going to be a successful event. It's a win-lose battle. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and that's how you have to take it. You have to detach yourself from the time and the money that you put into it, so that whether it was successful or not, you know that you tried. And the other thing is, don't get demotivated, right? There are a lot of things that are going to demotivate you within the space of doing events. And when you get demotivated, and there's a lot of things that are going to put you down. So try not to get demotivated by what puts you down. And the third thing is that, as Asi said, it goes along with the artists and the people actually trying to do events. Be vocal. Be very vocal about what you want. Be very vocal about how you're gonna get it. Great planning is one of the most important things that are out there. And with great planning, you have to be vocal. You have to be able to approach certain venues. You have to be able to approach artists. So that's one of the biggest things out there.
Sure. I see. Having now hosted multiple events, having gone out to venues, found artists, what are some of the things that you wish someone would have told you that would have really just propelled you, or having gone out that first time?
Yes, like this is the easiest question I've ever gotten. Never, don't fucking pay for something you don't understand. Don't pay for it. Okay, don't pay for things you don't understand. That's like the one thing I want to say. Don't pay for stuff you don't understand, please.
Sure. Okay. Now, riding off of the back of that, that's actually something very, very interesting. How do you guys figure out in terms of logistics, contracts? Do you guys work with the lawyer? Do you guys have like law students that you're working with? How are you guys balancing that? Because there should be a lot of paperwork.
Must I speak though?
Uh,
Must I speak? Please take it.
oh, okay. So, okay. Okay. As I've noticed, Asi is working. I'm in school, right? Full time. Bendula is working full time. So most of the time we meet like after hours just to discuss a few things. But in terms of paper trail, we have a specific company that we use in order to kind of do our paper trail. That's just on the financial part of Samthini, right? And then we have in terms of everything else, we do ourselves. We divide everything else amongst ourselves. We do not get external people to kind of do that. We don't have those students. Everything that is done by Asi, myself, and Bendulo. So nothing of the sort whereby we have to hire lawyers for specific contracts or anything like that. To keep the event as minimal, what else we call it a minimalist event at some point in time. So to ensure that we keep costs low and the fact that we can be able to actually host and also at the same time be able to approach these young people in order for them to actually come and play for us. So we have to keep the cost low at the same time. So because we another thing when our DJs play for the first time, we always have some sort of agreement, and then whenever they play for the second time, we obviously do not want them to play for free. So we obviously want to pay them a little something and say, look, this you're taking your time out of this and you're putting some energy into this. Here's a little something for you to actually be able to continue. So nothing of the sorts where we consult with lawyers, accountants, or anything like that. We do everything ourselves.
Okay, that's super, super awesome. And then with doing everything you guys yourselves, do you guys have a strategy in terms of um obviously marketing, but in terms of funneling like a group of individuals? Because I noticed when you guys came back from COVID, it's almost like there were just people waiting and they were like, yes, we're in. How do you guys make sure that your numbers not only remain constant, but that it grows with each event?
You see, with regards to like keeping a consistent flow of people, we believe that that's actually like it just comes with the job, in the sense that if you give people a service that's good enough for them to come back, they will come back. So that's how we basically keep our the consistency of the numbers growing. We just make sure that everyone that's there actually has a good time, and yeah, man, and then we just trust the process basically. And then with regards to advertising and promo work, there's a lot of stuff that we learned also on the way, because we started off like with on the ground promos, and we did actual promos where we walked campuses and we did all sorts of crazy things, yeah, but just trying to push the brand, just to give you like an explanation of how that helped actually, or just give you an understanding or a scale, right? So imagine this: there's three guys that just decide that, yo, we're gonna start hosting an event, right? We've got, okay, I'm a rugby player, so I was probably the most popular out of the three of us, right? So we started and we're like, cool, gents, you know what? We're gonna start doing this thing. So these three average guys, where we walked around each and every campus. We literally went to multiple CPUT campuses, multiple UWC campuses, not multiple, like we went to UCT as well. And then we literally walked around telling people about our non-existent event, because the first one was non-existent. It was hypothetical. It was in our heads, but we planned to do. You understand? So the first event, we got, say, how much, boys? 80 people there. Yeah, just 80 people.
Yeah.
But I mean that's a very good success for a first event, because most event types fail because of that first event. They don't get the expected numbers, or they don't make a return that's interesting enough for them to start over and over again. But anyway, so we started with on the ground promo work. From on the ground promo work, we pretty much halved our promo from ground to mostly social media. And then our numbers literally doubled. For the second event, we went from about 80 to say 140 rolling people on the day, right? And then, yeah, so there was a constant growth. And with regards to the last two events that we've hosted, because in total we've hosted 4, with regards to the last 2 events, we had to cap the numbers at just under 100. But for both of them, we went well over 100. We can't say it now because it's pretty much illegal. But we went well over 100, and we had our event sold out within maximum, I think, what was the maximum? 6 days, boys, after actual release of the event, right? So basically, to answer your question is, firstly, we did like promo stuff like on the ground, and then we just, with growth and understanding of the market, we learned that social media actually works better. Yeah.
Wow. Guys, you guys are on an absolutely amazing journey. And now I'm here for it. Listen, I am here for it. To see, I don't know, man, there's something, it's almost nostalgic about seeing someone you knew do something that you never saw them doing. And you go, wow. And then they do it well. You know what I mean? And then they do it well. That day, it blows you backwards. So I'm super proud of the journey that all 3 of you guys are have endeavored and are pursuing. Keep going. One last question, and you guys can take turns at answering this one, or one of you guys could just answer it. What can we expect next? Let's say there's no COVID-19. Like, how big are these events going to be?
Yo, please.
Oh.
Look, we're working on mad sponsors. So to give that, like, just to give that start off, we're working with that. We're planning to grow in terms of that. But yeah, Langas can give you like a run through of where we see ourselves in next after COVID. Yeah, post COVID life.
Yeah, I think as you said, like, if it wasn't for COVID, Sumthin Usunday would have grew to be something very, very big, because also before COVID, I think there was something planned whereby Sumthin Usunday was actually going to be part of it, but I can't mention what it is due to, we don't have the permission, but we were going to be part of something big, and we were just wanting to grow and doing everything. In terms of where people can see Samthini within the next few years, Samthini will grow. Samthini, hopefully, we want to make it into something that is going to become national. So at some point in time, it is going to be a national thing, and at some point in time, we are going to be very grateful for the support that we receive from our patrons. So that's where to look at for Samthini. I'm not sure on the time frame on when it becomes national, but that we eventually that's where we want to head it out.
Wow, that is absolutely awesome. And we will continue to watch out for it. If you want any more information about these 2 amazing gentlemen and Sumthin Usunday, check our bio, and then you'll be able to link both their profiles, and you'll be able to get a link to Sumthin Usunday. Listen, if you haven't yet subscribed to the page, click that subscription button and put on the bell notification so that you can be notified every single time we premiere a new episode. Listen, guys, we've got amazing new content that is going to be coming out soon. So you want to watch Under Construction SA YouTube page for that. Asi Langa, thank you so much for joining me this evening. You guys are absolutely amazing. I love you. And one day, me, I'm going to be at Sumthin Usunday in the background.
Yeah.